Love thrives on trust and dies without it. A social worker needs counseling for herself.
She was a very jealous, very angry person.
What the hell?
Jealousy destroys a lifelong friendship.
This is really getting very personal, very nasty.
And young love learns a brutal lesson.
She knew what could happen. She saw it coming.
These deadly women destroy everything that matters. They have suspicious minds. (2004), Minden, Louisiana.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made a decision.
Gonna be your girl.
Nah, this is yours.
And the winner is Kimmy Coleman.
High school student Kim Coleman is the all-American sweetheart.
Kim came from a very respectable family. Everyone in Minden knew them. Everyone in Minden loved them. She was the homecoming queen. She was prom queen. She was Miss Popularity.
Kim was smart, personable, popular, and dedicated to her studies.
What do you want to do with your life?
Kim wants to share her good fortune.
I want to give back. I want to be a social worker.
For the next 4 years, she studies hard to become a social worker.
Hi, come in.
She was giving back to her community, and she was working for the betterment of other people's lives. I mean, that was just what she was raised to do.
When are you due in court?
3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Okay, it's really important you don't miss any more school before then.
You won't.
I will.
That's a profession that tends to draw people who are altruistic, much more interested in helping other humans than earning a big paycheck.
Across town, 28-year-old Brian Spinks is also giving back to his community and his country.
Brian was a hardworking, dedicated military man.
This is all you do in the Air Force, play dominoes all day.
After 2 tours of duty and almost a decade of service, Brian has the love and respect of his comrades.
I think the game's well and truly won.
Brian was a guy to kind of have everybody over at his house, to be that place so that anybody can just hang out.
At one of his get-togethers in 2008, Brian's life takes a beautiful turn.
She just seemed like a nice girl, very laid back, kind of quiet.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. This is Kim.
Kim was a very pretty girl. She had a beautiful smile. You could tell that she was happy.
I hear you're a military man.
Air Force Sergeant.
I'd like to see you in a uniform sometime.
That can be arranged. Don't worry about that.
The relationship started off very good, very strong. They appeared to be a perfect couple.
Okay, let's break it up, my brother. Let's break it up. Dominoes. Okay, we're gonna be playing 5 to 6. 5 dominoes.
He was really into her. He told me that, he thought about, even bringing her home and having her meet some of his family. So at that time, I pretty much knew that he really liked her.
At your service, man.
You're crazy.
Kim thinks she's found Mr. Right and wants to keep him close.
Let's go away this weekend.
No, sorry. No, can't do it.
But I want to be with you.
There's not 24/7.
Brian was a fun guy. He loved going out. He loved having a good time. He loved dancing. He loved, partying in Shreveport. I mean, Brian was your typical 20-something-year-old in the military.
Kim is accustomed to a lot more attention.
Kim was a young lady who had never been rejected. She was always the prettiest. She was the it girl. She was always chased. People always wanted her.
Suspicion is growing in Kim's mind.
What are you looking at?
Hey, you.
Her personality was normally very open, very outgoing.
You really can't help yourself, can you?
I'll be back in a minute.
The only problem was that she would become very jealous of Brian.
It stalls the relationship just as it's getting off the ground.
Man, she'd be crazy sometimes.
Unprovoked, she would go through Brian's phone, looking for evidence that he was in touch with other women. She was looking for trouble.
Kim was jealous. Kim had a fatal attraction. I mean, that's the best way to put it.
Kim's idea of loving Brian was completely possessing Brian.
Who's Vanessa? The woman you've been calling?
My cousin. Hey.
Kim had a lot going for her, but what she didn't have was control of her emotions.
You gotta stop doing this. You gotta trust me.
The story of Kim Coleman is a story of jealousy, an emotion that favors neither the guilty or the innocent, but can destroy everything in its path.
In Shreveport, Louisiana, Brian Spinks is taking a break from his girlfriend, Kim Coleman.
She was a very jealous, very angry person when she realized that Brian did not want to be with her.
On January 16th, 2010, she tracks him down.
Kim sought out Brian. She found him in a club and she confronted him.
He was with his friends. Her jealousy kind of bubbled over. She started an altercation.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
She was very upset. She was yelling and screaming.
And I know you back off!
Damn! And there were some people trying to hold her back.
Get off me!
She was always picking fights and arguments when it came to anybody other than her.
Brian was upset. And he told one of our other friends, hey, just take me home.
Y'all don't know what I gotta go through with this girl.
It's the last straw for Brian. After drinking heavily, he decides to call it off permanently.
Brian was embarrassed by her behavior.
I'm tired of dealing with this.
And he left her a voicemail telling her how embarrassed he was. and that they were over.
If you had answered your phone, I was gonna tell you why. I'm done with you. But you didn't want to answer your phone. It's fine.
Kim doesn't get the message because she's on her way over.
The hell you doing here?
Where is she?
Didn't you get my message? I don't want you here anymore.
Kim Coleman is a young lady who never heard no.
I love you.
It's over. Get out of here.
Please, we can work it out. Please.
She had never, ever felt the type of rejection that she felt that night. She felt like she had been dumped. That had never happened to Kim Coleman. There was nothing he could do.
Stabbing is a bloody, dirty business. You get wet, you get bloody, you get hot, you get sweaty. Blood goes on the perpetrator and on the victim.
A knife blade from the first knife was broken. It's then believed that she went back into the kitchen, retrieved a second knife, and continued to stab him 60+ times.
Some would say she was out of control. I think she was very much in control. She was destroying Brian because he wanted to leave her.
She was a woman scorned in that moment and committed an unimaginable crime against someone who fought for our country.
Somebody stabbed my boyfriend.
Girl, baby.
Kim probably thought Brian was dead when she first called 911. But then he made a noise. On the line, the operator could hear Brian saying, "Help, help."
Baby, are you okay?
You hear
Can you hear me?
him pleading basically for his life, knowing that the person that did this to him is still right there next to him.
Say
For the
something.
911 operator, it's the most chilling of calls.
And you hear a gurgle.
It's almost demon-like, what she did.
His name was John or James.
She created a story about an intruder and even stabbed herself a couple of times to make it look good.
The story she told was that somebody had followed her home and attacked both of them in the apartment. That was the first story she told.
However, the pattern of injuries didn't fit the story.
The doctor believes your wounds were self-inflicted.
If she had been trying to fend off the attacker, she would have had cuts on the outside of her arms or on the back of her hands as she's trying to push this knife away.
If you had answered your phone, I was gonna tell you why.
And when the police discover Brian's voicemail, it's clear there's been a fight.
I'm done with you.
There was no doubt in my mind that we were looking the person that killed Brian Spinks directly in the eyes.
I did it. But he was coming after me.
She changes her story several times. And that was the beginning of the end for her.
But Kim's claim of self-defense doesn't add up either. She's charged with second-degree murder. In court, she tries one last story.
Kim was feigning mental illness, clinically known as malingering.
The prosecution did such a great job poking holes in her story. The jury knew that Kim Coleman killed Brian Spinks in cold blood.
In 2012, Kim Coleman is convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole.
There was nothing in Kim's background that foreshadowed the brutal murder of her boyfriend and the complete demise of her own life.
For someone who wanted to give so much to other people, Kim took so much for herself.
When I found out, I was shocked. I never thought she was capable of anything like this, and I almost couldn't believe it.
When paranoia sets in,
These girls went way back.
friendship and loyalty
Growing up can change a relationship.
are left by the roadside.
That's a long life in prison, to think about what you did.
"24-year-old Stephanie Erens is in love, but her boyfriend isn't.
Can't you at least tell me why?
I just need some space.
Stephanie is really upset. She's really hurt by what was said.
I just want to have some fun.
Sorry I'm not fun enough for you.
For the California native who doesn't have much in life, it's a devastating blow.
Stephanie did not have it easy. Her entire family had problems.
Want English breakfast?
It's her childhood friend, 24-year-old Alicia Ernst, she turns to for comfort.
Thank you, dear. Don't tell anyone, okay?
Stephanie wanted Alicia to know how upset she was.
These girls went way back. In fact, they were best friends since age 13, which is a long time.
Unlike Stephanie, Alicia comes from a close, loving family, and she's a woman with ambition.
Alicia wanted to be a nurse, and she was making strides toward that.
I'll see you tomorrow.
She worked in a nursing home. Patients loved her.
Sorry.
She had a good job. She had friends.
This place stinks like old people. I don't know how you do it.
Don't be so mean. They're really nice.
I mean, she had it, you know, that sparkle.
Hi, girl.
The friends commiserate by partying hard.
Vodka and soda. Without the soda.
As always, bubbly Alicia is the center of attention.
Alicia had everything that Stephanie didn't. Alicia had a very outgoing personality. She was a very likable person who seemed to kind of have her stuff together. By contrast, Stephanie did not.
Stephanie drowns her sorrows in booze and drugs. She doesn't think her friend is showing her enough sympathy.
Stephanie appeared to be really jealous of Alicia.
Stephanie starts to think Alicia is behind her relationship breakup.
Stephanie was convinced that Alicia had had sex with her boyfriend. Stephanie was massively insecure and saw threats where they didn't exist.
It's all in her deluded mind, but she becomes obsessed.
She's made up this scenario in her head, and although it's false, she gets to the point where she actually believes it's real.
What's up? Nothing.
She couldn't get it out of her mind.
But she keeps her suspicions to herself. On Stephanie's 25th birthday, Alicia still thinks they're best friends. They keep the party going with crystal meth.
Stephanie had a lifetime of drug abuse. I think with all the drugs, I think it put Stephanie in a very agitated mood.
You gotta get over him, Stephanie. Come on, it's not like you're not having sex.
While they're partying, Alicia starts taking pot shots at Stephanie.
Come on, no one has as much sex as you do. That's what you would do.
Really despicable things about her body.
My God.
Talking about how she has sex and how it's vulgar.
Hey!
It was cruel. But then again, methamphetamine doesn't make people nice.
I'm just joking. Have a sense of humor.
Humiliated in front of her friends, Stephanie storms out of her own birthday.
I just saw way too much.
And it's escalating everybody to this terrible moment that's about to happen.
In Placer County, California, March 8th, 2008.
It's not like you're not having sex.
Stephanie Erens' 25th birthday celebration has degenerated into insults and drug abuse.
Hey! I'm just joking. Have a sense of humor.
Emotions are high, and mental stability is low.
The relationship between the two girls is deteriorating.
Sorry. I thought you knew my sense of humor by now.
Alicia tries to apologize.
Just like, lose some weight and you'll be happier.
But only makes the situation worse.
I'm sorry. I'm wasted.
Of all the things Alicia could have teased Stephanie about, she chooses to make fun of her body.
Can you just take me home? Sure.
Stephanie was already possessed with the idea that Alicia had had sex with her boyfriend. She couldn't get it out of her mind. The two of them are doing methamphetamine together. That's a drug that doesn't mellow people out. That's a drug that can make people crazy.
They drive to this lonely stretch of road and pull over.
What's going on? I'm too wasted to face my grandmother. Oh, come on, I'm so tired. I need to go to sleep.
These women are best friends, but now they're best enemies.
I know you've been screwing around with Alex.
What?
Stephanie's weapon, a wallpaper scraper.
Stephanie takes that wallpaper scraper, grabs Alicia by the head, and slits her throat.
It's one of the more heinous cases of murder that I've seen.
She drags poor Alicia's body. She takes that scraper that she used to slit her throat, and she actually cuts off her fingertips.
Stephanie attempted to destroy Alicia's fingerprints, probably to hinder identification, but she didn't cut her head off, so it really made no sense.
Then she douses Alicia's body with ammonia.
Covering over with ammonia, the bugs won't get there as fast. It'll also cover up the smell. That may give Stephanie some time to come up with an alibi or to get further away.
She leaves Alicia's body where it is. She gets back in her car, and she drives it into a barbed wire fence in a bush to make it look like she'd been run off the road.
Stephanie makes little attempt to hide the body. First thing next morning, it's found.
A city worker in the area sees what he thinks is a mannequin, like a store mannequin.
But then he takes a closer look and realizes, oh no, this is a young woman.
Nothing about this crime was well thought out or planned by Stephanie. She just planned to murder her friend. She didn't plan to do it well.
Close by is Stephanie's abandoned car. She's the first person police want to talk to.
Her body was found a short distance from where your car was ditched.
I don't know, it's a coincidence, I guess.
Stephanie explains everything as a coincidence. She says the fact that my friend was just down the road and my car was here has nothing to do with each other. It's just happenstance. The cops aren't stupid here.
Well, how about you tell me the truth now?
Okay, I get it.
Stephanie tries another explanation.
I just snapped.
She lost her temper.
She was agitated and she just snapped. And that was it, that's all it was. Yes, she killed her.
There's one problem. The evidence shows it was all planned.
She goes and buys a wallpaper scraper and a bottle of ammonia, puts it in her car.
Stephanie didn't snap. This murder was premeditated.
In 2009, Stephanie Erens is convicted of first-degree murder. Her sentence, life in prison without parole. Stephanie loses her boyfriend, her girlfriend, and her freedom. All because of a suspicious mind, which turns out to be wrong.
Tell me you didn't do it because you still think I was messing around with her.
The boyfriend had written, I never slept with her.
I never even met her in my life.
In fact, he said he'd never even met Alicia.
You killed her for nothing.
Jealousy is never a good explanation for murder, but it is the most common explanation of murder.
Teenage passion.
Sexual attraction took over.
is a powerful force.
She was suspicious and jealous.
If you're ready or not.
And for whatever reason, that just caused her to lose it.
In 2013, Holiday, Utah. It's a day of new beginnings. Following the tragic death of her mother, 21-year-old Victoria Mendoza moves in with her girlfriend's family.
Welcome. Thank you. You need some help? No, we're good, thanks. Okay, come on, I'll show you the room.
20-year-old Tawny is happy to share her good fortune.
Tawny did have more family support than Victoria did. She was more the rock in the relationship.
I'm just gonna get dinner started. Do you like spaghetti?
I love spaghetti.
Great. Your mom is so cool.
The women's bond starts 3 years earlier. Both teens were in trouble with the law and ended up in a youth detention center.
Oops. Sorry.
Tawny and Victoria met because both of their lives were in crisis.
What's your problem? You.
I can't say why they decided to draw towards each other, but they did.
Thanks.
I think when you're at a facility like that,
Hey.
kind of a low spot in your life,
Hey.
to have somebody that relates to what you're dealing with, absolutely, you're gonna form some kind of a bond with somebody there.
Check this out.
It would be natural for two teenage girls to become friends. But it was much more than that. Sexual attraction took over, and that bonded them together.
When Victoria moves in, she makes herself at home.
So, this one or this one?
Oh, man, you've got so many clothes.
Well, girls gotta look good.
Look good for who?
For you, babe.
In Tawny's life and her bed.
What's that?
It's for protection.
You're such a badass.
Family said that they were just completely obsessed with each other.
Tawny was very bubbly, outgoing. She liked to flirt.
I know I hate drinking scotch. Are you on? Yeah.
She enjoyed being the life of the party, just being happy and go lucky.
Victoria was the opposite. She was quiet and withdrawn, suspicious and jealous.
When Victoria feels threatened, she reverts to what she knows best.
Victoria punched him in the face.
What is your problem?
She was very upset at Tawny, suspecting that she was trying to leave her.
But Victoria wants to be back in Tawny's good graces.
She found a job to be a security guard, and she was training to learn how to do that.
What do you think?
She was trying to find herself and find out what makes her happy in life.
What? Just don't hurt anyone, okay?
Come on, I've said sorry 1,000,000 times.
But you still need to learn how to control yourself.
I'm trying, babe. Trust me.
They really loved each other, were attracted to each other, and didn't want to break up.
The couple make up. But for how long?
Yeah, well, this is my car. God. Seriously.
You're in like one of your moods.
Every 2 seconds, you gotta tell me what the hell I gotta fix. Turn right here. Right! What are you doing?
In Holiday, Utah, Tawny Baird and Victoria Mendoza have a volatile relationship.
Don't shout at me. Why won't you take my direction? You wanna drive? Yeah, I do. Get out. It's my car. Don't you?
They got in a verbal argument. Victoria punched Tawny in the face.
John, I'm sorry.
When you are raising to that level, it's escalating and it's escalating.
Most relationships would be over, but not this one. Tawny doesn't have the heart to end it.
All right, come on, Tawny. Can't you just leave her?
I can't.
Victoria was living with her and her mom, so if she wanted out, the only course was to evict her or kick her out of the house, and I think that'd be tough for anybody to do.
But on October 17th, 2014, the relationship is at a crossroads.
Like when we moved in, and the whole time, we moved in the crappiest stuff.
I think the thing is with these relationships, there could be anything that could set them off. Whether that issue is imagined or not.
And it was on the tree. Let's go, babe. Yeah, okay, you can wait. I've got to get up early in the morning. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Victoria was suspicious that Tawny may be involved with a man. Jealous people don't need proof of an affair. Their suspicions fuel their insecurity.
No,
The two girls were headed home and got into an argument.
Are you having an affair? Answer the question!
Tawny actually pulled over when they were fighting. That told me she was frightened to be driving with Victoria so angry.
You're paranoid.
They were arguing about infidelity issues. Tawny pulled Victoria's hair. From that, she snapped. And pulled out her knife.
There was an extreme amount of rage.
I can't imagine stabbing an enemy, let alone somebody that you love deeply, that many times. I can't.
Do you know what time it is?
I went crazy. I didn't mean to do it.
Victoria wants to take it all back.
V, where's Tawny?
She's praying that Tawny is still with her.
Wait, she's breathing. Wait, Tawny!
She was actually talking to Tawny, you know, saying, Tawny, 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 are you okay, are you okay?
Her friend calls the police.
V?
They told Victoria that due to the seriousness of the crime, police are gonna come in hot and they're probably gonna tell her to get on the ground.
Don't move!
So when police responded, she was already laying down on the ground with her hands visible.
Stay down!
Don't shoot me!
Roll over! Put your hands behind your back.
She just kept asking me, is Tawny dead or is she alive?
Tawny has over 40 stab wounds. She's been dead all along.
I don't know how you can stab somebody that many times and not expect to kill them, but I just don't think that was necessarily her intent.
I'm pleading guilty. I know I'm not gonna stay here.
She told us what happened. She told us everything she stated revolved around the fact that Tawny pulled her hair. And for whatever reason, that just caused her to lose it. She described how she held the knife, showed me how she stabbed her.
Pleading guilty to murder, Victoria Mendoza is sentenced to 16 years to life in prison. Victoria's jealousy and temper took away the young woman she loved. Tawny opened her home and her heart to Victoria, with the worst consequences.
Just seeing her face at the time that we took her out of the vehicle, that will stick with me. Later, the news reported on the case and they showed a lot of pictures of Tawny. And I'm glad that I got to see those pictures. I got to see her when she was happy.
Victoria was suspicious and jealous. She had a lot of problems in her young life before she took someone else's life.
These deadly women had no trust. Kim Coleman sacrificed her boyfriend rather than share him. Stephanie Erens' imagination killed her lifelong friend. And Victoria Mendoza destroyed the love of her life. All three women committed senseless murder because of their suspicious minds.